We're now going to talk about the first 6 pieces that are solved for us already. If I do normal moves to this front face, the red face, no matter how I turn each one of the faces, notice how the position of my center never changed. That means that the center piece defines what color is supposed to be on each one of the sides. So this here is the side where all the red pieces are supposed to go. This one is where all the blue pieces are, etc., etc. So the first thing is you need to decide which color you want to have be your first side that becomes solved. Most tutorials have you solve the white side, and I'm going to be no different just for consistency's purposes. When we solve the edge pieces, we are going to have a cross formed, as you can see outlined by my thumb. We already have one of the pieces that looks like it's correct, but it is not, as you can see from this angle. Notice how it goes white, red, but it doesn't match up with the red center here. This is the orange side, not the red side. So in order for this piece to be correct, I not only need to line up the white side, but I also need to line up the sticker on the red side as well. For most pieces that make up the cross, you are going to look in your down face for one that has a white sticker. This one here is the white green. So I'm going to turn this so that then the green corners match up, and then simply I need to turn it 180 degrees, and that makes sure that it's lined up not only across the white side but also down the green. Here's another example of a white piece that needs to be placed. This one is white-orange. So I line up the piece with the orange center, flip it up 180 degrees, and uh-oh, I have a problem. This is where your first algorithm is going to come into place. If an edge piece is flipped, this is the algorithm that you use in order to fix it. Front inverted, up, left inverted, up inverted. Notice how that took this piece and reoriented it correctly. The corners of the cube are going to be solved in a very similar manner. We are going to look in our down face for any white corner, like this one. This is the white, blue, orange corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this corner in the right hand side of my cube while I rotate the rest of it until the corner is in between the blue and orange face. That places this piece directly below where it needs to go. Now I'm going to use the following algorithm in order to move it up above. Right inverted, right, down. Notice how it placed it up there, but it may not be oriented correctly. It will either take 1 time, 3 times, or 5 times in order for it to be done. You can do this for any of the corners that you have on your cube. Sometimes you will run into a situation like this, where the corner is already up there and the white is lined up, but if you look on the side, you can tell very quickly that's incorrect. This is how you take care of this case. Simply do the right inverted, right down algorithm, and that puts it back down into the bottom layer. Then you can move it to where it's supposed to be, and then simply place it up there correctly, so that then you have it where it needs to be, not only according to the top face, but also according to the sides as well. With the first side now completely done and all the edges placed completely, I want you to notice also that the top layer is also completely solved. That's why it's called the layer by layer method. It's because we are solving layers, not just sides. So our next step will be solving this middle layer. In order to do that, first we need to turn our cube upside down, so that then the side that we have solved is now on the bottom. Notice the color of the top face. In this case, it's supposed to be yellow. That means that any piece that is not yellow in this top layer needs to go into this middle layer. Here is one such piece. It is blue-red. So I need to place this in between the blue-red centers, right here. We're going to line up this side color with its center, much like we did when we were solving the edges when we formed our first cross. Then I say, okay, which direction is red compared to blue? Well, it's over here on the right. In order to move it to the right, we use the following algorithm. Up, right, up inverted, right inverted. Up inverted, front inverted, up, front. Notice how that placed the piece in between the centers like it's supposed to be. Here's another edge that needs to move. I've already lined it up with its center, and I see that green is to the left. so the algorithm is slightly different. Now it is up inverted, left inverted, up, left, up, front, up inverted, front inverted. And that places the piece properly. Sometimes you will run into a case where a piece that needs to be placed into this middle layer is already in the middle layer but in the wrong spot. This is very easy to fix. All you need to do is you simply need to take one of your edge pieces, place it down in there, and that will force this cube to be up in your up layer. At this point, your cube should have 2 layers completely solved. When you look at the top layer, much like we did with the first layer, we are going to form the cross first. When you begin this, you will have one of 4 possibilities. Either you will have what we call the dot. You could also have the L. Notice the location of the L. We have placed it in the upper left-hand corner of the cube. You could also have the line. Notice how we have made the line horizontal. That's important. Or you can have the cross. The beauty of this top layer is that you can use the same algorithm in order to move to the cross from whatever situation of the 4 you are given. If you begin with the dot, simply hold the cube however you want and perform this algorithm. Front, right, up, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted. That will form for you the L. If you are already at the L, simply place it in the upper left-hand corner and perform that same algorithm. Front, right, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted. That will form the line. Notice again that I have the line horizontal. Perform the algorithm one more time. Front, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted, and now we are to the cross. After you have formed your cross, you will have one of 2 situations when it comes to trying to line it up with the centers on the side. Either 2 of them will line up, or all 4 of them will line up. When you have 2 of them, you will have also 2 possibilities. You either have them across from each other like they are in this case. You could have them next to each other like they are in this case. If the 2 faces that line up properly already are across from each other, hold it so that then one is in the front and one is in the back, and perform right, up, right inverted, up, right inverted. That will move it from being across from each other lined up to being next to each other lined up. Once they are next to each other lined up, hold one in the back and one on your right side and perform the same algorithm. Right, right inverted, up, right inverted. Once more will allow you to line up all of the edges properly. The final part is getting these corners correct. In order to do this, we need to worry about 2 things: corner placement and corner orientation. This corner is correctly placed but incorrectly oriented. This corner is correctly oriented but incorrectly placed. So we're going to deal with placement first. First, we have to find a corner that is correctly placed. In this case, this one. Hold the cube so that then this correctly placed corner is in the front right corner, and perform this algorithm. Up, right, up inverted, left inverted, up, right inverted, up inverted, left. That will move all of the other 3 around the cube. You will see that sometimes it will make it all correct after one time. Sometimes it will take twice. It will never take more than twice in order to get all of them correct. Now to correctly orientate my 2 remaining corners. It doesn't matter how many corners are incorrectly oriented, you are going to do the same thing for all of them. Place a corner that needs to be oriented in the front right corner and perform the same algorithm that we used for the previous corners. Right inverted, right, down. And repeat that until that corner is correctly placed. You will notice that the rest of the cube is a little messed up, and that's okay. Once this corner is 100% done, rotate the top layer only until an other corner that needs to be fixed is lined up with where you were working before. Let's continue to do that algorithm again. Right inverted, right down, and then just continue to repeat that process until that piece is correct. Notice how it also ended up correcting the entire rest of the cube as well. Then you simply need to rotate the top layer until it lines up properly, and you have a solved cube.